Hi there, welcome to day 2 of 7 days of Dawnfall. Today we're looking at the demon faction. So what we've got here is we've got the miniatures laid out. Well, they've got them in the boxes, but I'll go through those in a minute. We've also got all the tokens that go with that. The faction sheet, which gives us some flavor text about who the demon faction is. The names of all the different types of troops and that kind of thing. And then all the cards. But what we'll do is we'll start with who is the demon faction, what are they doing. So the demon faction, they are a race of conquerors. So they believe the universe belongs to them, and what they will do, they will stop at nothing. They'll take over planets, they'll take over races, they'll do everything they can until they own everything. And their current, battle is with the chapter faction. Now that information and more is available in there, so I urge everyone to have a good read of that. Now, in terms of the bits and bobs that they've got, there's their faction shrine. They have got a whole bunch of victory points as well. They get 10 of those. They've got some fire tokens. Very similar to the chapter ones. They've got some, where are we? Crystal Aegis or Aegis. You've just got one of those. They've got, if I can find it, 2 freeze tokens. So you've got a bit more in the armory than the chapter. Temporary crystals, so I'm sure they're going to come into play during the gameplay in terms of, well, obviously temporary crystal, they might be there to aid you at some point. We get 3 infection tokens. You see that looks like some teeth, and we get this one, which is called Spectral Grasp. Okay, now in terms of the units, we have the almighty son of Kyber, and he's flipping awesome. Really cool work here. This might be one of the miniatures I actually take apart in order to give it some real justice on the painting, but that's great. He's a beast as well. Awesome, really cool miniature. Next of all, we have the Master of Elements. Skeleton looking dude. He's got 4 arms. If anyone remembers the video game Doom, there a guy looks a bit like this. Let's try and get this to focus. This doesn't want to focus. Let's try our best. There we go, finally. Lovely. I like the work on the robes there, very cool, very nice. So there we go, that's the Master of Elements. Next up we've got Gore Hound. Now we've got 2 of these, but they have their own they have their own kind of individual squad. So you get 2 of these, but they play separately. And you can tell them apart because they've got slightly different casts. Let's have a look at this. Pretty basic miniature. Some nice work on the muscle there. It would be nice. It's actually better sculpt this side as well. Those teeth are going to look good as well when it's all painted up. So that's good. What we got next? Right, we've got 2 different types. Right, let's have a look at these. So you get 3 of these. That's one type of what they call the Dark Scholar. Come on. Get some liquid green stuff down in some of those gaps there, but that will still look very, very cool. So that's the first one. That's the other alternative one. So you get 3 of each, and they play as two different sets. That's nice. Now, like the chapter faction, this faction's also got an elite squad, and those are the Bloodsmiths. So you get 3 of these, and they look great. They are like smaller versions of the Son of Khyber, but they are awesome. So there you go. Very, very, it's quite similar looking dudes. Right, so that's all the miniatures. So we've done the miniatures, we've done the tokens. Let's have a look at the squads. So we're going to race through this quickly. So the Son of Khyber. Get the rule book as a reference here. Son of Khyber. His initiative stays at 2 even when you flip the card. As does his attack, which is +3. So that's meaty attacks there. He loses 1, so he starts with 1 defense and goes down to +0. And when you flip the card. And movement goes up from 3 to 4. The Master of Elements. This dude, oh, I love that dude, he's awesome. So he, initiative 2 to 0. 0 initiative when you flip the card. Wow. Attack of +1 down to just a straight 0. Or whatever that means, that kind of slash there. Defensive +2 goes down to +0, and a movement of 3 goes down to nothing. So you're going to be pretty useless when his card's flipped. Now the Gore Hounds, although they do play two separate units, so they don't share cards or anything like that. However, their stats are the same. They are the same. So initiative goes from 4 to 2, attack from +3 to +2, defense from +1 to 0. And look at this, movement of 1 up to 7. That's going to carry you almost right the way across the board. You know, that's going to make a big difference in some of the end game parts. Now the Dark Scholars, again, although there's 2 different troop sets, everything is identical, and they are lame when you turn the card. So initiative of 2 down to 0, damage of +0 down to, well, stays at +0, defense from +1 down to +0, movement of 2 down to 1. So they're going to be pretty miserable when you flip the cards. And then the elite squads, the Bloodsmiths, these awesome ones who look like the, let's call them the grandsons of Khyber. So initiative of 2 to 3, wow, these are tough. Attack of 3 to 4, defense of +1 to +2, and a movement of 2 to 4. So they're going to be really tough opponents when we're playing those. So yeah, those look very cool. Now if I flip this, let's have a look to see how things plan out in terms of the number of cards that we've got. So any squad, 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 different cards that are any squad. Son of Khyber has got 4 different types, 12 different cards in total. The Master of Elements, he's got 3 different types, so he's got 4, 8, 11 different cards. Gore Hounds, 1, 2, 3. So they got 3 different types there as well. Actually, there's more Master of Elements over here as well. Maybe not as straightforward as I thought. Right, Dark Scholars, 1, 2. Got Bloodsmith there, another Dark Scholar. Right, okay. But I mean, anyway, there's a good mix here. We don't know enough about this. We're going to start with the pre-constructed starting decks, and then move things up as and when we learn more about these factions as we go along. But that is the Demon faction. So I hope you enjoyed that. We'll be back tomorrow with another faction. See you later.